Let's be honest for a second. The whole idea of bending reality with your mind sounds like something straight out of a movie. For years, I thought so too. I'm a natural skeptic, so I just dismissed the world of manifestation as wishful thinking, a kind of placebo for people who wanted to feel more in control. It all sounded like nonsense to me, until I stumbled on a weird little detail in a neuroscience paper. It wasn't about magic. It was about brainwaves. The paper talked about how certain coherent brainwave patterns, states you can learn to create on purpose, influence your body's internal electrical environment. And that's when it all clicked. This wasn't about cosmic ordering. This was about psychophysiology. It was about biology. I went deep down the rabbit hole, digging into studies on neuroplasticity, heart-brain communication, and even how our nervous systems interact with each other. What I found is a grounded, science-backed framework for how the world around you, the opportunities, the people, the ideas, seems to sync up with your intentions. This isn't about wishing on a star, it's a trainable skill. And in this video, I'm going to show you the science behind how it works and exactly how you can apply it. So, if you're anything like I was, you've probably felt that deep frustration when this stuff just doesn't work. You've made the vision boards, you've written the affirmations, staring at yourself in the mirror, repeating, "I am wealthy, I am successful." But it feels like you're just shouting into an empty room. You try to force a positive mindset, wrestling with your own doubt, and you just end up more exhausted than when you started. So why doesn't it work? The fundamental mistake we make is trying to solve a subconscious problem with a conscious tool. Here's a useful way to think about it. Your mind has two main parts. Your conscious mind, the part you're using to listen to me, the part that sets goals and uses willpower, is just the tip of the iceberg. It's the captain of the ship shouting orders. But below the surface is the massive, powerful subconscious. This is the part of the iceberg you never see, but that does most of the work. It's the huge crew running the engine room, managing the navigation and controlling the thousands of automated systems that actually steer the ship. This is where your autonomic nervous system, your deep-seated beliefs, and your emotional habits live. So when you stand in the mirror and affirm, "I am confident," but your entire nervous system is buzzing with a lifetime of social anxiety, who do you think wins? The captain can shout, "Turn starboard," all day, but if the crew in the engine room has been programmed to always go port, you're going to keep ending up in the same old places. The secret isn't to shout louder from the captain's deck. The secret is to go down into the engine room and update the operating system itself. The vague advice to just think positive fails because it doesn't change your state of being. And your state? Well, that's everything. To change your reality, you first have to change your internal signal. This brings us to the core of it all. The word frequency or vibration gets thrown around a lot, and frankly, it often gets lost in pseudoscientific fluff. So let's reframe it. Let's talk about what that frequency actually is in measurable, biological terms. It's essentially a composite signal made of two key electrical systems in your body, your brain and your heart. First, your brain. It's a symphony of electrical activity. The billions of neurons firing in your head generate an electrical field, which we can measure with an EEG. This activity isn't just random noise. It organizes itself into patterns, or brainwaves. While your brain is always producing a mix of waves, certain ones tend to dominate depending on what you're doing. Here's the important part. Your brain isn't broken. It's just often tuned to the wrong mode. When you're actively thinking, problem-solving, or focused on the outside world, you're likely in a beta brainwave state. This is your get things done mode. But when it's chronic and cranked up, it's called high beta, a state tied to stress, anxiety, and scattered thinking. This is the state most of us accidentally live in. When you're relaxed but still alert, maybe during a light meditation or just enjoying a quiet walk, you shift into alpha waves. This state acts as a bridge between your conscious and subconscious mind. And when you go even deeper, into creative daydreaming or deep meditation, you enter theta. Theta is a state of profound relaxation where you're naturally more receptive to new ideas and insights. The problem is, a mind stuck in chronic high beta is broadcasting a chaotic and inefficient signal internally. It's like a radio station playing static. You can't think clearly or creatively through all that noise. But the brain is only half the equation, and surprisingly, it might not even be the most powerful half. Your heart is also an incredible electrical generator. In fact, the electrical field produced by the heart is significantly stronger than the one generated by the brain, and with sensitive instruments, its effects can be measured from several feet away. The field of neurocardiology has spent decades studying the constant two-way communication between the heart and the brain. Just like the brain has brainwaves, the heart has rhythms. We can measure these using something called heart rate variability, or HRV. HRV isn't just your heart rate. It's a measure of the tiny beat-to-beat changes in your heart's rhythm. When you're feeling stressed or frustrated, your heart rhythm pattern becomes erratic and disordered. It looks like a jagged, chaotic mess on a graph. This is an incoherent state. When this happens, your heart sends noisy, disruptive signals to the brain, which actually scrambles your ability to think clearly. But when you consciously generate feelings of gratitude, care, or compassion, something amazing happens. Your heart rhythm smooths out into a balanced, sine wave-like pattern. This is a state of coherence. In this state, the heart sends a clean, stable, orderly signal to the brain, which sharpens your thinking, boosts emotional stability, and creates a feeling of calm focus. So, what is this frequency people talk about? It's a useful metaphor for the combined state of your brainwaves and your heart rhythms. A state of high beta anxiety and heart incoherence creates a chaotic, scattered internal signal. A state of alpha theta brainwaves and heart coherence produces a clear, stable, powerful one. This isn't just a feeling. This is a measurable physiological state of being. And this internal state is what dictates how you perceive and interact with the world. Okay, so you can change your internal state. You can generate a coherent signal inside your own body. So what? How does that actually help bend reality? This isn't about your heart's energy field physically reaching out and grabbing a job offer from the sky. The mechanisms are far more elegant and grounded in established science. There are three primary ways this works. First is the mechanism of selective attention. Your brain is bombarded with millions of bits of information every single second. If you had to process it all, you'd be instantly overwhelmed. So, your brain has a filter. A key part of this is a network called the reticular activating system, or RAS, which acts as a gatekeeper for your conscious awareness. It helps decide what information from your environment is important enough to bring to your attention. And what sets the rules for that filter? Your beliefs, your focus, and your dominant emotional state. When you're in a state of anxiety and scarcity, your brain is primed to look for threats, problems, and evidence of lack. You will literally not see some of the opportunities right in front of you. But when you cultivate a coherent state of possibility, you are changing the programming of your own filter. Your brain starts to actively highlight people, ideas, and pathways that match your new internal state. The opportunity wasn't magically created. Your brain was finely tuned to the right channel to perceive it. The second mechanism is the science of interpersonal synchrony. We are social creatures, wired for connection. Recent studies using a technique called hyperscanning, where two people's brains are monitored at the same time, have revealed something astonishing. When people are in a deep, connected conversation, their brainwave patterns can actually start to synchronize. Their brains literally get on the same wavelength. What helps trigger this? Things like eye contact, genuine smiles, and just being fully present. When you are operating from a state of internal coherence, calm, present, and open, you send out subtle but powerful nonverbal signals. People feel more at ease around you. They're more likely to trust you. You become a stabilizing, coherent force in any social setting. Think of it like tuning forks. A scattered, anxious person is like a buzzing, dissonant fork that can make others feel on edge. A coherent person is like a clearly resonating tuning fork. Their stable presence makes it easier for others to unconsciously feel more comfortable and in sync with them. This isn't magic. It's advanced social neuroscience. And since opportunities often come through other people, when you can make people feel good just by your state of being, you become a natural hub for cooperation and connection. The third and perhaps most powerful mechanism is neuroplasticity and mental rehearsal. Neuroplasticity is the brain's incredible ability to rewire itself based on experience. For a long time, we thought this only happened in response to physical action. But neuroimaging studies have shown that your brain doesn't always know the difference between a real experience and one that is vividly imagined. When you mentally rehearse a future scenario with focused intention and an elevated emotion, you activate many of the same neural pathways that would fire if you were actually doing it. If you're a pianist, visualizing yourself playing a piece activates the motor cortex. If you're an athlete, visualizing the perfect shot strengthens those same neural circuits. When you combine this visualization with an elevated emotional state like gratitude or joy, you're doing something profound. You are giving your brain and body a taste of the future. You are building the neural architecture of the person you want to become before you even have the external proof. You're not faking it till you make it. You are, neurologically speaking, becoming it. Your brain starts to recognize this new state as familiar, and because our brains and bodies love what's familiar, you start to automatically think, act, and carry yourself like this new version of you. Your posture shifts, your decisions change, your tolerance for risk might change, and when your behavior changes that profoundly, your reality can't help but shift in response. So let's move from theory to action. This isn't wishful thinking. It's a trainable protocol. Think of it as a 15-minute daily exercise to systematically shift your internal state from incoherent noise to a coherent signal. If you do this consistently, you can change your baseline state of being. Here is the 3-step process. Step 1. Breath coherence. 5 minutes. The first step is to regulate your nervous system. Your breath is one of the most powerful tools you have to voluntarily influence your autonomic nervous system. Specifically, we want to engage the parasympathetic branch, the rest and digest system, to bring a sense of calm to the body. We do this with slow, rhythmic breathing. A longer exhale is key as it helps stimulate the vagus nerve, which acts as a brake on your body's stress response. Here's how to do it. Find a quiet place to sit comfortably upright. Close your eyes. Begin to breathe in slowly through your nose for a count of about 5. Then, without holding your breath, breathe out slowly for a count of about 7 or 8. In for 5, out for 8. Don't force it. Just find a gentle rhythm that works for you. The goal isn't a perfect count. It's to send a signal of safety to your body. For 5 minutes, just focus on this rhythm. Feel your shoulders drop. Feel the tension leave your jaw. You are manually shifting your body out of survival mode. Step 2. Heart coherence. 5 minutes. Now that your nervous system is calmer, it's time to tune your heart. You can't think your way to heart coherence. You have to feel your way there. The most effective way to do this is by generating an elevated emotion. Gratitude is the easiest and most powerful place to start. While continuing your rhythmic breathing, shift your focus to the area around your heart. Now, I want you to remember a time you felt genuine, deep gratitude. Don't just think, "I'm grateful for my dog." Go back to a specific memory. Maybe it's the feeling of the sun on your face on a perfect day, the warmth of a loved one's hug, the moment you accomplished something you were truly proud of. Relive that memory. What did you see? What did you hear? Most importantly, how did you feel? Let that feeling of warmth, of gratitude well up inside you. Don't just observe it, become it. Let it fill your chest. Breathe with that feeling. For 5 minutes, your only job is to marinate in that elevated state. You are guiding your heart's rhythm toward a more coherent, orderly pattern, generating a stable and powerful internal signal. Step 3. Intentional visualization. 5 minutes. Now your system is primed. Your brain is in a receptive alpha or theta state, and your heart is in a coherent rhythm. This is the moment to install the new software. Choose one specific short scene that implies your desire is already fulfilled. The key is to focus on the end result, not the how. Maybe it's the feeling of logging into your bank account and seeing the words, "paid in full." Maybe it's the simple act of walking through the front door of your new home. Maybe it's the feeling of a partner's hand in yours. Now, close your eyes and step into that scene. Don't watch it like a movie. Embody it like it's your current reality. Engage all your senses. What do you see, hear, smell? Most importantly, ask yourself this. If this were my life now, how would I feel in my body? Feel the sense of ease in your shoulders. Feel the quiet confidence in your posture. Feel the smile on your face. Embody the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Hold that feeling for 5 minutes. You are not just fantasizing. You are conducting a neurological rehearsal. You are building and strengthening the neural pathways that correspond to that reality, making it a familiar state for your brain and body. 15 minutes, that's it. Breath to calm the body, emotion to tune the heart, visualization to program the brain. This 15-minute practice is your foundation. It's how you recalibrate your system each day. But the real change happens when you learn to bring this coherent state into the rest of your day. This is where micro shifts come in. Throughout your day, just check in with yourself. Notice your state. Are you feeling contracted, anxious, or rushed? That's incoherence. When you notice it, don't judge it. Just pause. Take 3 of those slow, coherent breaths. In for 5. Out for 8. Put your hand on your heart and bring back that feeling of gratitude for just 60 seconds. It's a real-time course correction, like retuning your instrument in the middle of a concert. The more you do this, the more coherence becomes your natural default state. Pay attention to what you're letting into your world, too. It's hard to maintain a clear internal signal in a chaotic environment. This means being mindful of the media you consume, especially first thing in the morning. It means curating your conversations. Stop leaking your energy into chronic complaining or gossip. Every complaint is like an affirmation for a reality you don't want. Every moment of gratitude is a vote for the reality you do. So what is the neurological secret to bending your reality? It's understanding that you are an active participant in your life, not a passive observer. The internal state you cultivate, a measurable combination of your brainwave patterns and heart rhythms, profoundly shapes your experience. You don't bend reality by force of will, you do it by changing your internal signal. You do it by becoming so aligned with the future you want that your brain's filter starts to notice new opportunities. You do it by generating a coherent state that allows you to connect more deeply with others. You do it by neurologically rehearsing your future so effectively that your body begins to accept it as your new normal. This isn't about rewriting the laws of physics. It's about consciously applying the principles of your own biology. You aren't pulling things out of thin air, you are tuning your own magnificent instrument, your brain and body, so you can perceive, act, and connect in a way that makes your desired future not just possible, but probable. This is a trainable skill. You are the operator. Now I want to hear from you. What's one coincidence or moment of synchronicity you've experienced that, after watching this, now makes a little more sense? Share your story in the comments below. I read every single one.